All right, Justin, it was an interesting week for the NFL, right? They had essentially a run of bad games, some officiating issues, certainly in the game that made you so happy there. And then at the end of the Dallas game, there were some kind of question marks there as well about whether everything went the right way, although I guess it did. So it's always a good time to check in and see maybe what's going on in the league commissioner's office.
Yeah, so this one, I don't know who had something to gain from this, but somehow somebody got a hold of all Roger Goodell's voicemails and sent them our way. So this is definitely a peek into, behind the curtain as to how the commissioner seems to live his life.
Lucky us.
More, I have sound. I just want to make sure that I got sound. Do I got sound? Okay, we're good to go. Here we go.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Howdy, Roger. Joe Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. First, I want to apologize for leaving y'all in the hallway outside my suite at Sunday's game. But by halftime, I was mad enough to start a fight in an empty house. You understand? Number two, I look forward to hearing how you plan on holding the officials accountable for their unacceptable performance because they seemed about as crooked as a dog's hind leg. You got till 1 p.m. to get back to me, or you can kiss your next weekly check goodbye. You can hang your hat on that.
It's very Texas.
He sounded like Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
little foghorn leghorn.
He's a hick, but I didn't realize he was that much of a hick. That's good. Yeah.
I love it.
You can hang your hat on that. All right, good.
Crooked as dog hind leg. This one was quite a surprise, too. I think out of all of these, this is the most surprising one that I found on his voicemails.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello, Mr. Goodell. John Elway calling to follow up on my proposal to buy the Denver Broncos, a team that some might say I've already owned since 1983 when I began my Hall of Fame career here. I also heard the third best quarterback in Broncos history, Peyton Manning, was interested in buying the team, and I saw you cozying up to him and Eli on the Manning cast. But listen, I've been quarterback, I've been a GM, president of operations. The next natural move in my winning evolution is to be owner. So let's not give the good people of Denver John Elway light when they could have the real thing forever.
He called Peyton the third best quarterback in their history?
I don't know who he thinks the second is. I have a pretty good idea who thinks the first best is.
Who do you think he thinks second is?
Tim
Your guess
Tebow,
is good as mine.
probably.
Yeah, it could be Tebow.
What was
Paxton Lynch, maybe.
Was it Morton? Was that the guy they had years ago? Something Morton, I think, brought them maybe even to a Super Bowl with the Orange Crush
Charlie
defense.
Morton, is that right?
Charlie Morton's the baseball
That's
pitcher.
right. Why am I thinking of
I don't know. I don't remember his name. It's a little bit before my time.
Kyle Orton.
Kyle Orton, the old Chicago Bears quarterback?
Did he play for the Broncos for a second?
He might have, but he didn't bring him to a Super Bowl.
No.
I don't know. I'd be curious to know who he thinks is number two.
I know. He definitely doesn't seem to be a fan of Peyton Manning. And
Jake
that.
Plummer, Brock Osweiler, Trevor
Perhaps.
Simmons. There's a long line of mediocre.
Paxton Lynch, yep.
Broncos quarterbacks ranked, perhaps, will be a segment later today.
Start with that one, yeah. Okay. Wow.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, boss. ESPN insider Adam Schefter calling to verify some details of a huge brewing story that I've been working on for the last 15 seconds. My sources are telling me that the NFL made so many millions on the expanded playoffs that you're considering adding 2 more teams next year, regardless of how bad the competition is on the field. Sorry, boss. Gotta go. The burner phone that Russell Wilson's agent mailed me is ringing again.
Still a Nokia. It's weird.
It's a really old phone that he carries. With
Why
him.
would he have that?
Well, he's got to have a lot of different, a lot of phones.
He's
right?
juggling a lot of. He's got a lot of people who's trying to get a hold of him all day. Nobody wants a busy signal. They all got to have their own line, I guess.
Clearly. By the way, Craig Morton was who I was.
Craig Morton?
Craig Morton played for the Broncos. Yes.
Man, I cannot remember that one at all.
Well, it was before my time, so yeah, he played 18 years with the Cowboys and the Broncos.
Okay. Maybe that's the second best quarterback in Broncos history. That's what you're saying?
Maybe, I guess. It was probably, I mean, honestly, it probably was him, yeah.
Oh, this one could make some people upset.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Commish. I hope you're doing great. It's Russell Wilson here. Just confirming we're still good for 5 seats directly next to you at the Super Bowl in Los Angeles in a few weeks. You know, just really looking forward to seeing 2 great teams in a great city, great stadium. Of course, the Seahawks are also a great team, and I love being in Seattle, you know. Playing in front of such great fans in Loomis Field and fighting every game for a win. Always competing out there with my guys, you know. But I'm also excited to watch some great quarterbacks. Some really great receivers. Of course, you know how much I love throwing to DK and Tyler, and Freddie, D, and all those guys are great too. And I couldn't do it without an incredible offensive line. You know, started with Dwayne and and Kyle and Ethan and Gabe and all those guys up front, Damien and Jake.
Sorry you were having trouble. Please try again later. Goodbye.
Oh, man. He just names
Always
everybody.
got to mention all those players.
Wants
Can't
to
leave
get-
anyone out.
Just needs his seats, and I think it's a big deal. That one doesn't seem as much of expose into Roger Goodell's voice.
No, it's really just a perfect encapsulation of Russell Wilson. He gets grief for that, mentioning everybody.
Yeah, he does a little bit like the NASCAR driver
A
sponsorship
little
type
bit,
stuff in
right.
every press game.
Right.
Yeah, press conference.
I want to thank everybody here with the 48 Low Chevy team and everything that we got done, right? Sure, yes, he does do that. But, like, the flip side is you mentioned 4 and leave 1 out, and now all of a sudden you got a problem, right? Like, hey, we go through this in our house, right? So kid's going to have a birthday party, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to do a whole big birthday party, COVID, this and that, parents, kids. So, all right, we're just going to have 3 kids over. 3 kids go do something. Well, what about the 4th kid?
Yeah.
What about the 5th kid? What about the 6th? I mean, like, where do you draw those lines? And I think that's kind of where Russ is. It's like he treats those offensive linemen like his kid's having a birthday.
It's MySpace top 8.
Right.
It's an important thing. You got to make sure you
Was
put
that
your
a
best
thing?
friends. You remember the MySpace top 8?
I don't.
More,
No,
do you
I
remember
never
this?
really got too into MySpace.
I do, but I didn't. I refused to get one, and someone made me one.
More was too cool.
And then
for
it was
MySpace.
it was just what I feared. Like, I would go into work at the bar I worked at, and someone from work is like, "I sent you a MySpace message. You didn't respond." I'm like, "I saw you 5 hours ago. What? I don't understand."
What did top 8 mean? It was like your top 8 favorite friends?
No, there's like on your profile.
You're my friend, but this is my best friend.
Your top 8 friends, where I assume you're best friends, except nobody wanted to pick their best friends, so they put like the band MySpace pages as their top 8. Tom was always in your first top friend. In
It's
your top
amazing
8.
that this
Top 8
work
friends
out.
ranked.
Top 8 friends. Yes. Defunct social media websites ranked.
Friends of mine ranked seems like a pretty poor idea.
Oh no.
So, by the way, Craig Morton did some interesting things.
Okay.
Let me just quickly. He was the first player in history to start a Super Bowl for 2 different teams. So, I mean, that's not nothing. I was right. He did start a Super Bowl for the Broncos. They lost.
I'm sorry. I lived in Colorado for a long time. There was no quarterback before John Elway.
Oh, really?
According to Denver fans.
According to law.
And John Elway. Oh, we got one more.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Mike Salk here. I still want to wish you a belated Happy New Year. What a weak wildcard weekend. I don't mean to kind of, I feel like everyone is talking all about this one play at the end of the Dallas game. And, like, yeah, all right, it was a bad play. It was arguably the most interesting thing that happened all weekend, but it didn't lose the Cowboys the game. They were going to lose the game anyway. The first game of the weekend with Cincinnati finding a way to beat the Raiders late was probably the best game. That was the best game of the weekend? That? Just kind of a weak wildcard weekend, I thought. P.U.
How did you get Roger Goodell's phone number?
I'm a very big deal, and yeah.
Wow.
Clayton gave it to me, actually,
Quite a
years ago.
gripe you have with him.
You just call. You don't even ask for anything. You just call and leave complaining voicemails.
I would. There's plenty of things I could complain about over the years. I certainly have complained about Goodell in any number of ways.
No
but yeah.
demands for him, though.
No, I just want to complain about Wild Card Weekend. Like, hey, fix this, Roger. Make this better. Quit talking to Jerry Jones and come fix Wild Card Weekend.
I like how your sign off was P.U.
See ya.
That's what I say whenever I talk to Roger Goodell. It's like Salk out. P.U. is what I say to Goodell on the way out the door. Brock Hewitt's next. Mike Salk Show, 710 ESPN Seattle.
Your morning starts with Mike Salk.